the reason I'm saying this is, how does that affect your draft?
Can you get buckets?
If I'm a GM picking someone and he did whatever in college, stole some shrimp, some what's the name?
Yeah.
How?
Crab legs.
Character.
Crack leg? Your character, you broke. You don't have to worry about stealing no more because I'm giving you millions. So theft means nothing.
But it wasn't just he got he got in
It was everywhere.
Yeah, like they kind of like blamed him for it.
What I'm saying is, that little bad habit you got.
He got drafted though.
Yeah, what I'm
20
saying
seconds
is,
to the Nets.
what I'm saying is the bad habit, that little character flaw does not work here because you're rich now.
Right.
So you still in crab legs, you still you can pay for that now. So I don't even consider stuff like that.
They did that.
Like drinking, okay. If you're an alcoholic in college, okay, I can have some concern because now you can buy a whole lot of that shit.
Right.
There's little things that, but you're talking about little petty theft and you sitting here selling your jerseys and stuff for boosters, that has no effect on this right here.
What about bad teammate?
No. I wouldn't.
Let me ask you this. On top of that.
It depends on
They was
what
big
type
on
of-
character.
Like you.
They was big on character.
Where do you
Like you and Jordan. I know Jordan was like that too.
But where do you get that from? Like
What?
if you're going into the draft and you got a red flag on your list that says
that was
bad
your
attitude,
team,
right? Where does that come from?
The coach.
I would guess from somebody on the coaching staff.
So it can't. Y'all agree with me that
Or
it doesn't
another
come
agent.
from the players.
No.
The players don't go to the draft people and say he has a bad attitude, right? So if you're a bad teammate, where would that come from?
One of the other players' agents.
Coaches too.
Coaches too.
Or
So
coach.
the players are not given that scouting report based on character, attitude, or being a good teammate. So if that's a red flag on your resume coming out, that teams are gonna look at you and be like, I don't want him because of this. That ain't got nothing to do with you and your teammates or you and your attitude. It's you and your coach.
And that be my thing. Like if someone says he has a bad attitude, my question is, what is the problem?
Yes. What's the attitude about?
Remember, Jimmy Buckets was labeled as a bad teammate, right? In 2 stops. Has anyone said that about him in Miami?
That's rare though.
Did anyone say that about
you
him
labeled
in
in the
Philadelphia?
Once you get labeled as
But that's what I'm saying. So it's not. It's what is the common? If I have one winner here,
but he was already a winner.
No, he wasn't in
He was
Chicago.
already averaging 20 though.
Not as a, but he was.
He wasn't labeled a bad team.
Yeah, he
in
was.
Chicago.
Yeah, he
Once
was.
He left Minnesota, he was labeled.
No, he was labeled a bad attitude.
No, because it was Fred Hoiberg.
Hoiberg labeled him
got
that
him in Chicago at the tail end.
It was his team coming in, being labeled as a bad.
Not
not
coming
in Chicago.
No,
He didn't come in.
Yeah,
not come in. He wasn't. I'm talking about when they were getting ready to trade him. But the thing is this, we know what that looks like as a player.
Yeah.
He probably cares more than them. Now, what happens is when this player is questioning why we losing, why we doing this, why we not going harder, why he's a bad.
Absolutely.
Because there's 13 losers.
There's
so
not
the
saying
13 losers voices is heard more than this one. So if you put Jimmy on, who's the worst team here in the NBA right now? You put him in Detroit. Reports is gonna say we don't like this dude. He's a bad teammate, right? Because he's not gonna confide to the shit that's going on. So he's gonna challenge everything. Bad teammate, and that's why, as coach, not a coach, but general manager, you have to ask the questions, the real ones. What makes him a bad teammate?
Right. To the coaches that's trying to sabotage him.
Remember that.
They calling in.
Coaches do that though.
But
Like
look, even overseas, when I went overseas, my overseas teams would call the NBA scouts and reps to ask them how I was in the league. Then the call from people I didn't even deal with. They couldn't call just Minnesota. They call all of the teams. It's like, I'm like, I only played for 1.5 teams.
Hey,
what are you talking about?
Don't pay him that much.
Don't pay him that.
Yeah.
You know, love the game,
bro.
Yeah, see?
My shit went from here to here, just like in the snap of a conversation. Like, yo,
that
what?
was that wizard shit.
Hey, actually, like what you were saying earlier, like when you go into the draft, where these things like talked about, it's more than just the coaches though. It's like just certain. It could be It could be your family members. I mean, like
They find people.
Yeah,
They find people,
yeah. Like when the NBA want to know something about you, they gonna ask around because I know for sure they were asking all type of people about me before I came in.
But that's the
It's
problem.
not just the coaches.
As an adult, right, and you're making your decision on who you're going to draft, right? Talent, right? It's the talent, the work ethic, right? The IQ. Everything else is irrelevant, right? And the reason I say that is what you were in your atmosphere don't mean you're going to be that in my atmosphere.
Okay.
And that becomes the problem when they're judging. They're judging you off a finished product. Like you're a finished 19. You're 19. Mm-hmm. I expect you to act like all 19-year-olds, right? So if you got, the lacrosse players at 21 kegging, getting drunk in mosh pits, I expect that from your black ass too. You to have that same type of behavior, right? You're not developed. You're still in
You're not
fun.
a pro.
Right. You're not a pro.
Yeah.
So my atmosphere is supposed to teach you and become a professional. So that means whatever you're coming in with really has no bearing.
Unless you
And that's what I said, unless you're like an alcoholic, now that is something that I can't control because there's less structure here. We leave at 11 o'clock.
You might not.
And you sitting here at the bar the whole time. Goddamn, that's a problem. Right? So only little things like that. Other than that, this is a new garden.
Unless you get drafted by the Wizards.
We was, you know what I mean? No. We built our garden was all fun, right? We had Magic Mountain out that motherfucker.
Let me ask y'all this. Why would a coach go that far to say anything bad about a player knowing that he's changing environments? If a coach has the best interest in all his players, there's no reason that any coach should say anything negative about a player going from him to the pros in regards to attitude, teammate, any of that, because it can be corrected based on his...
In theory, that's a reflection of that person's coaching.
Yes. So it's like, all right, these are the things he needs to work on this with him. He's a little trouble, comprehending this and that. He talks back a little bit, but, all in all, he's a good young person. One.
Got the job.
Player, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, but he's young. Work with him. I've heard some of the craziest shit about players that just don't make no sense coming from a grown ass.
What's the craziest thing about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Coming from Roy or any coach?
Or just coming.
Because all the coaches said some crazy shit.
I don't want to say no names if you don't want to, but
he gonna say them.
No, he can say the name.
This is Gilbert.
I was supposed to get back in the league with the Pacers when I was rocking with Paul George, and him and Danny Granger called to vouch for me. And Matt Doherty was the head scout for the Pacers. And he was my freshman year coach at Carolina. And supposedly, I got the blame for getting him fired. My freshman year, he just came off of National Coach of the Year. So they went 8-20. We came in, me, Raymond, and Sean came in, 3 Musketeers, changed the program. He got fired the next year because everybody on the team threatened to leave if he stayed the coach, except for me. Was the only one that said stay. So next thing you know, it comes out in the public that I got him fired. Fast forward, gets the scout job for the Pacers. I got on the phone with the assistant GM. He's like, look, we're gonna call you in. We're excited. Danny and Paul, they vouch for you to say you're incredible, boom, boom, boom. I get a call like 2 days later.
360? Yeah,
we was rocking. I got a call 2 days later. Man, something went wrong. But I had another call with China. I had a deal in China, so I had to balance. Like, do I go to China? Do I wait for this deal to go through? Because if you wait for this go, then you don't got this. It's about $100,000 a month. I'm like, man, this look good. It's like, man, one of the agents that was facilitating the call for me called me. Was like, did you know Matt Doherty was the head scout at the Pacers? I was like, hell nah. He was like, well, he didn't say nothing good about you. They gonna pass on you.
Yeah.
So think about my Minnesota shit, and whatever was going in Minnesota, I go into free agency for 2 years, I ain't really played. Then I get the call like, oh, you been staying in shape. Oh, okay, we go check. Nah, his attitude, he ain't the type of guy you want to bring in and do this and do that. Now you fucked over. Now I'm looking back like, damn, why would y'all niggas sabotage me? I never did nothing to none of y'all. Why would I get what? And then I start seeing other players get the same treatment, and I'm just like, oh man, that's what he doing. Doghouse, DNP.
Yep.
Coach's decision.
Man.
12 of them.
Had all that.
You know what's so funny? It's.
I got benched for being around Kwame Brown.
That's crazy. They didn't want to. I heard something about that.
Watch who you hang around with. That's why you didn't play. I said, damn, that's crazy.
They was trying to get rid of him?
Yeah.
That Mike shit.
So when you asked me why did I slip in the draft, right? This is how I know that they don't do homework for themselves. I didn't do the treadmill test, right? And the reason I didn't do the treadmill test is, you didn't go, did you play in Chicago?
Nah.
So y'all didn't play in Chicago. So Chicago is like battleground in a sense, right? Where I didn't know nothing about lotteries and, there was another group behind it. So I'm thinking these is my competition.
Guys,
So everything is comp, nigga. Who can get through the door first, who can stay long, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to win everything. Line drills, if I see someone beat me, I want to do it again,
Thanks.
right? So everything was about establishing dominance. So we're getting ready to do the treadmill test, and I said, all right, what's the top time? And it was like 18 minutes. 18 minutes? That's crazy. That's it? And it was like, no, it just stops at 18 minutes. I said, what do you mean stops at 18 minutes? It's like, yeah, so when 18 minutes comes, you stop. So I said, wait, everybody can be number one? Everybody can, and think about it, like I'm track. So that means preparing for this, I've been running miles, dog. I've been on UCLA track, running up the stairs, doing all
Drake
this.
Stadium.
To run 18 minutes the same with everybody else. So I was offended, like, oh, hell no, man. Everybody can be first place, I'm good. Right? Everything else has first place, and you're telling me you want to try to figure out who has it? Take this time limit off.
But it was for the heart.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about no heart. Fuck your heart. Who can last? Right? 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. You want to see who has something? Down this motherfucker if you want to see what kind of player it is.
So your brain wasn't right.
Yeah.
They was like,
so I wouldn't want to do this, right? So I'm like, I'm good. They don't need me. I ran too much to do this. I go to Orlando. Pew, 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 pew. Nigga couldn't keep up, right? You know what? You know what the coach said? When he was talking to me, he was like, yeah. I don't know if he was even watching. They couldn't keep up with me, just out of shape. He's like, hey, I seen you working out. Do you wish you was in better shape? You just seen me running up and down, and you're gonna ask me if you. And I had to think about what he was saying, and I'm like, oh, you're going off the treadmill test. You're stupid.
Metrics.
You're going off a treadmill test that happened in June, and you're not watching what the fuck I did here means you're not even realizing what you're saying. You didn't use your eyes. If they can't keep up with me and we're running every drill you did, I'm sitting here doing this, and you're sitting here with your message on a treadmill test that says 30 seconds, then you're not even living in real time. Because obviously if I'm running, you see I'm in the best shape that you probably seen come through here, but you're looking at what's on this piece of paper.
But did you run in Chucks though?
I put my Chucks on and then walked it, and I'm like, I'm good, man, this ain't it. Man, I can't win.
They use shit like that.
Yeah,
they're gonna take that and use that and be like, yeah, Gilbert Arenas didn't want to do his chest test, and he don't like to listen, man.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, man. And
but you know what makes it funny? And here's the reality. We stop in March, right? June is we do the little, what's the name, right?
Yeah, that's sick, though.
June is when we do that, right?
The test, yeah.
We in shape for June. Then July draft, and then summer league, right? Mm-hmm. When does the real season start? October. So what the fuck do me being in shape during these two times have to do with October? Because if I'm in shape right now, playing great, and then I'm not in shape in October, it's meaninless.
Yeah, it just shows
right?
you getting ready.
Yeah, but I honestly
see me at the finish line, and that was the proof that you went off of something that had nothing, and then
you took a different approach though.
Yeah.
Your approach wasn't like, because when we went in there and did it, we asked him like, what is this for? Because I wasn't in shape for that shit. So I was like, yo, what's this? Oh, you just gotta 18 minutes to see how long you can do it just with checking your heart.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like checking my heart. Okay, cool.
Okay. Because I had been in LA working out, but we hadn't been doing conditioning.
Yeah.
It was just training for the, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I ain't been doing no long distance. It was like, oh no, just run at your own pace for 18 minutes. It's your own pace. We just want to see how your heart keeps up.
So you ask questions, I just look.
Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, that's it. Okay, that's cool. Okay, cool. But you took that as a challenge, like,
I ain't got
but we were always doing that because with the chest push-up shit, it was like, who got number one?
Yeah.
I'm about to beat that nigga. Who got number one here? I'm gonna beat him too.
Nah, I knew I could lift that. I was just trying to lift a couple times.
we seen by your suit.
I just want to see it a couple times.
How would you do it?
7 times, I think.
Yo, do you think they care about people's characters today?
Nah, because KD only had 1. I don't think
Like,
KD.
I don't think he got it up.
Like, I just think the way the world is today, like, you think they really harp on character, or
Yeah.
or like, or do you feel like they can fix it?
I don't know. I don't know what. I can't judge your character because
haven't really.
Because I don't know, like
Imani Bates.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is I don't know your character because whatever's questioning it is that atmosphere too. And then once you come here, you can be the nicest dude in the world and then you get a whole bunch of money. And then you done, right? Mm-hmm. You can be a Stanford dude, you get all this money and you get wild. Mm-hmm. Or you can be a hood dude and then say, oh, the franchise is yours and you Kawhi Leonard.
But the difference is you have a mark on your back going in.
Yes.
Like, if you don't get a fresh start, if you got a reputation going into the NBA, it's going to stay with you. It's going to be very difficult for you to wipe that shit off.
But if you make that reputation on your own, that's if you walking around with guns and shit in college, that's different, bro. Like, what the fuck you doing all that for?
Yeah.
Who you about to run in? What ops you gonna pull up on?
You're a risk now. You're a risk, for sure.
I mean,
unless you get drafted as the Texas team. No, but I can't really.
I don't like it though. Like I'm with Gil. Like I don't like the fact that you judging an 18-year-old, 19-year-old. Let's say if he doesn't have like
I'm not
or like drug.
Like there's habits, like drug habits. Like I gotta really study. Like if I'm gonna study someone, and I'm putting millions, I'm gonna study what's important. Right? If you have an alcoholic problem, I'm gonna be I wanna see how many times you go to a bar.
They see that too.
Or drugs. I wanna see what type of drugs, like, you know what I mean?
But that was the same thing with JJ had that shit in Duke.
The mini bar in the hotel.
He had a drinking problem. So his sophomore year, they had to get him into detox and get his shit straight. But they didn't have no warrant on his resume.
You know what that means, though.
But you know who is coach, who is establishment. They're not gonna put that red flag on that boy coming out.
JJ,
because it's JJ. But like, we not gonna say it's privilege, but it's like it's where you go, who you got backing you, and if you had any kind of turmoil with that.
But even that college drinking, that is probably. That's part of the atmosphere. That's why I said I gotta know how excessive it is.
But that's what I'm saying. If it's that excessive, it gotta be Johnny Manziel type shit where you was passing out in college and we know your you was a drink. But I don't see
no
basketball players have that.
That's not that bad for me until you.
Like, I gotta say, but that's what I'm saying. You might.
I like Johnny. I like that.
He was cold.
That nigga was turning up.
No, what I'm saying
is doing all that.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing you in your element, right? Man. And then me understanding that as an organization, if I know you're that dude, my job is to protect my investment.
Absolutely.
So if I'm gonna protect my investment, then I'm gonna make sure you're limited in the things you do, in a sense, where I'm gonna hire your bodyguard. I'm gonna hire your bodyguard. Your bodyguard is gonna be hired for me. Your drivers are gonna be hired by me, right? When you go into the clubs, it's gonna be, everything is gonna be, I'm gonna spend an extra $500,000 to protect fucking $40 million.
It's hard, cause think about our teammate. He had that. They took the mini bar away from his room. All that. He came to our room and got our mini bar.
No facts.
Think about it. It's hard.
So I ain't passing you the ball anyway, motherfucker.
Right?
You ain't getting in the game. No, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
but that's coping.
Yeah.
That's coping. That's coping with the first couple years.
Yeah.
Right. So it's one of those things. Like if I got the Ant-Mans and all that stuff, I'm sorry. I want to know who you're dating, what their life is like, what your parents' life is like, and my job is to more protect it, Right? I need to put an umbrella over your life.
Summer.
Hey, because that's like you saying, like, I really want this product. This is something I want. I'm going to protect it, but I'm not going to let no outside source dictate what we doing. I'm not going to let a motherfucker say, oh, man, that's a broke down Honda.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not Honda to you.
I'm not
to
doing.
you.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with college kids. Like you're gonna have to be inside of my machine for at least 3-4 years.